I think we're on. We're on. We're on. Hey, everybody. Victor here from VB Homes of Texas. Come to you live. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Hey, I just came on right quick to tell you, hey, whenever you're working on something, you're doing something in the business and everything else, you want to go back and figure out what happens after you get a no. So my commercial real estate agent just called me, and we're trying to go back and put an offer on this one deal we've been kind of licking our chops on for quite a while now. And then right after GrowthCon, it's like, you know what? Let's go ahead and connect with him. Go have coffee. Go introduce ourselves to him and see how we can go back and not take this deal down. Well, she called him and he hung up the phone on her automatically. So there's something going on we don't know yet. So we're still not going to go back and stop. So what I was talking to her about is a older building which we want to get to purchase with some vacant land for a build. So we want to go back and not just buy the land, buy the property, but also to build on it. So that's phase two. So we have two phases. For first phase to purchase the whole entire property, stabilize it, and then after you stabilize it, we can go back and start building phase two. And phase two is going to be the game changer because you're going to be able to put brand new construction on it to get prime rent. And that's the game plan. So when she told me that, she got the phone hung up on her while she was discussing this, and I started thinking, said, okay, what can I do? How can I pivot? What is the next step? Because no is not going to be stopping me to go back and continue my drive and my efforts into real estate. That's not going to happen. That's still, it's just fuel for you to go back and take massive action. So what I've done, what's up, Paul? So what I've done, I called several people, some of my friends, to go back and start getting my creative juices going. And what did I come up with? Is that we're going to do new development on it no matter what. Elizabeth, we're going to do a new development anyway. Why not go ahead and start with that now instead of going out for scraps and spending money on rebuilding it? Go in there and do a new build. I'm going to do it anyway. Might as well just go ahead and leapfrog forward and get it done. So I've already contacted a contractor who does all of the concrete work. We're going to have lunch tomorrow. We're going to go back and plan and strategize this. He has partners who's willing to invest into real estate, and why not? And so I've just had a chat with my agent and everything else, and told her the new direction we're going. We're going to be doing new construction, and so that's what's next, guys. Elizabeth, if you're able to come on up, request up. Shahana, thank you for coming. And is Ezekiel? I'm bad with names, buddy. Not not bad with names, but it's always good to go back and able to have a plan, and not having no is just fuel for you to go back and move forward. That's all it is, guys. Fuel. What's up, my friend?
Hi.
How we doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, just great this morning.
Good. I love it. I love the news.
Had a dip in just a little while ago, but bounced back
Okay.
with
Good.
with a new mission,
Awesome.
new opportunity.
Good.
You like my post?
I do. I love it.
You like it?
Yes. I love to see you doing big things.
You have to do big things after GrowthCon. You get all those juices going. It's like you have to. You have no choice but to.
I love seeing you do the lives because I'm like, oh, Victor, you like get me pumped up.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
It's like a motivation for me. I love it.
And if many people who doesn't know Elizabeth, go ahead and if you introduce yourself, please.
So I'm Elizabeth Cinquini. I have an interior design company called Elizabeth Cinquini Interiors. We are based in New York City, and we are opening our new location in Florida, Southwest Florida, in just about 3 months. So we'll be there this summer in July.
And so you already plan to go back and network down there here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I'm actually leaving on Saturday. This Saturday, I will be driving down to Florida with the family, and we'll be spending about 2 weeks there. So, going to start making a lot of connections, meeting with a lot of different people down there to, to get our name out there and start meeting like real estate agents and builders and contractors. This way, we can build some amazing things. I'm really excited.
And then you also had a plan to go back and go into your area where you're living to go back and start giving some publicity to yourself, right?
Yes, definitely. I'm going to reach out to my whole community that I'm moving into, let them know I'm coming down, and pretty much offer like complimentary consultations for home design. So I can.
Ooh, that's hot.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get some traction with that, because it's a great community and all the houses are really big, and I know they need a lot of help. So
Of course, Christian, man, what's up? Come on up if you want. But no, that's amazing because we talked about it. You know, the deal that I was telling you about fell through, but that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. It's okay. It's
Okay.
there's many other ones, and so
Yeah.
and we're gonna pivot on that. And now, believe it or not, you know,
We'll
I'm
get a better deal,
get a better deal,
bigger deal.
and so me going into development was like maybe like 5 years down the road, right? I want to get my, you know, I want to build my portfolio and everything else to get to that point.
Yeah,
But sometimes you have to go back and just say, screw it and just go for it, right?
exactly. Why not now?
Why not now? If you can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's what I want to go back and make sure everybody understands is that it's all about the type of action you take. You know, how many people, there's 4 types of action, right? There's no action,
Yeah.
there's retreat, there's average. Average is going to be a killer because if you just do whatever you want, just, you know, happy go lucky, you're going to end up in on the wrong side of the road. And
Yeah.
there's massive action. Massive action is doing anything and everything crazy enough to go back and get the deal. If you have to pivot, pivot. If you have to go back and collaborate, collaborate. If you have to go back and start picking up phones, flyers, like Elizabeth's gonna go back and hit her whole entire neighborhood. That's what we have to do to go back and build massive action, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And
Because
so
we have a good product, we have a good service. We need people to know about it, right?
if they don't know you, they can't flow you.
Exactly.
And so it's been such a delight to see you again. We've known each other for over a year now.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to see you succeeding and moving up to moving down to Florida. I'm kind of jealous about that.
I'm excited.
Oh, I know you're excited. I'm excited for you. And then, hey, just keep your eye open. Maybe there's something you see that I can go back and get, and maybe I can get my own place there too. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Okay.
So
For sure.
it's not just I'm not just a Texas boy. You know,
Okay.
Florida became like almost my second home because
I know. Well, we're there so much.
we're there so much.
I feel like we need a place there.
What's up, Tom? Most definitely, we have to go back, and if you're able to do something and do it in different locations, why not? If you're
Yeah.
able to collaborate with different people around the world, why not? You know, like I was
Yeah.
telling you before,
Definitely.
I just closed my first Canadian deal a month ago. It's like, come on. It's like, this is awesome. I got one more deposit and I'm full. I have all my money back. Well, I have all my money back already. I'll have
Okay.
all my profit. And
Yeah.
so that's going to be awesome. Hey, what's up, Joe?
Yeah.
But it's about doing massive action, taking the risk, going through it, and never stop. Collaborating, talking about it, venting, do whatever you need to do to go back. When you get a no, it's not the end of the world.
No.
But you also have to celebrate your wins, right? You have to go back and celebrate those small wins because if you don't, when you go back and turn around, you've had now increased your success level, but you also want to go back and get that fuel, get you pumped up so that
Yeah.
that gap is actually bigger and longer and wider and everything else. You want to take off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, definitely. I just designed. I'm designing investment property on the Jersey Shore.
Ooh.
So it's about an hour and a half away from me. It's a previous client that I had, and I'm so excited because she just posted like this amazing review. It's coming out so good. And it's all about like connecting with a great contractor that can take my design and really execute it on site. So I didn't have to be there every day checking his work. So really I can design anywhere, you know, as long as I have good tradespeople, good contractors. Yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and it's coming out amazing. So,
and we also talked about, because the property that fell through, we were talking about you designing it, and I want to do something special for you, and which we'll still do something. That's one of many, you know.
I know.
And so what I was talking to Elizabeth about is that I want her to design one of my townhomes, one of my new builds, because after that, you know, we want to go back and do next level stuff. We don't want to go back and be average. We want to be freaking next level, top luxury, whatever you want to call it. And
exactly.
And that's exactly right. You don't want to go back and be average, right?
No, definitely not. We're going to take property to the next level.
To the next level. And then what I want her to show my appreciation is actually put her name on the building that she designed.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And so that her name will be with that building for until longer than us being alive. So
amazing.
We got,
maybe I'll invest in it with you.
Say what?
Maybe I'll be an investor in it.
Hey, that's the idea, right? Because we want to go back and collaborate. You know, it's not just about collaborating of what your talents is, but also supporting the person in front of you too, right?
Exactly, 100%.
And then the more people we connect, we can go back and move forward, right?
Yes.
And so Christian's about to come up.
Oh, good.
And so it's a pleasure and a delight. I'm so happy we connect. And look at this guy.
Hey, what's up, people?
What's up? What's up?
How are you?
Let me fix my YouTube channel here, so I can see you. I need to build. You know what the next step is, guys? I'm actually thinking about building my own studio.
Awesome.
No, there's this.
Should I take your autograph now or later?
Probably later.
No. I'm good. You need to send it now so we can auction it afterwards.
Oh shit. But
how are we?
We're doing good.
Discussion, by the way.
How you doing, brother? Where you at now?
I'm still in UK and it's freezing cold, man. It was snowing today.
It's snowing. So, oh crap.
Yeah, I know. So Miami and all the beautiful things, it feels like miles and long time over.
In an hour. It was only last weekend.
I know, it just feels like a long time ago. And I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? But look, I'm loving it what you're doing every day, and it's great to see that you're keeping the momentum, because one of the things that people have the tendency to do is just to lose that momentum, which is it's key to success. And you said it yourself, you know, that massive action comes to keeping those massive connections, because we work so hard to you know, connect, to keep you know, to be yourself, because that's why people keep the connections. If we actually throw to what you said you're going to do and the things you're going to do on the long run. So that's why I love to see it. And I love that you embrace that nickname, Victor the Connector. It's awesome.
I have to, man. Y'all gave it to me. And if anybody who doesn't know what's going on, GrowthCon, you know, one of the things that we all do, and we're all selflessness. That's all we are. We care about other people's successes, right? Not just ours, but the person that we're talking to. Well, one of the things they gave me the nickname Victor the Connector for a particular reason, because I love hearing other people's story and then connect them with other people who needs their help, or maybe they need their help and they just don't know it because they don't know who they are yet. And so I've actually embraced it now, because after fighting the name and everything else, I said, you know what, screw it, let's go for it, let's do what we can do. And
why not?
To tell you the truth, I actually had a meeting with Will Wi-Fi yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Well, when Wi-Fi had a live, I came on and we talked about that subject, and he said, "Do me a favor, be free tomorrow, and we'll discuss it." So just to give you a small taste, there's something that Wi-Fi and I are going to go back and work on, and it's going to be next
Nice.
level shit. It's going to
Oh,
be
that's
next
Love
level.
it. Love it. Well done, bro. Well done.
And
Good
so, well, it's not just, there's so many things that we can all do together, right?
Yeah.
But it's the looking at the opportunity and understanding the opportunity that's in there for you. And then not just do that, but accept it. Accept it, who you are and what you're able to bring into anybody's situation, anybody's world, anybody's circle. And then once you do that, oh my God, it just becomes
Yeah.
so much more exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, the thing is that sometimes people, they are fighting so much to gain that success. They reach that success, and then they just back down because they are now ready to be successful. So for you to see that, I actually embrace it, and this is what I want. The minute you actually connect and you align who you are, and you know what people are telling you who you are because they've seen you before you've seen yourself, that's when the rest of the people just come together, and the connections and things. And you said yourself, you made that deal in Canada, and you already had your money back, and the profit is coming. So
And the profit,
you know,
I got one more
people
payment,
like
and I
that.
got it. It's like, why not?
There
Let's
you
do it
go.
again.
Yeah. See, that's why when people always chase the success, but when they gain the success, they're not ready for it because they haven't thought about what they will do when they gain that. They just think like, oh, I'm going to 10x it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be so like a superstar. I'm going to do massive actions. But the massive actions needs to be thought of. What are you going to do with the results? It's not just the action. It's the result of the action. Are you prepared to scale it again? You know, don't stop. Like Grant Cardone said, when you reach the 10x, you go for another 10.
For another 10. And another 10.
So, yeah, grow big and grow old in the same time, you know, but old in the knowledge rather than in the, in the age.
Well, a lot of times we have this old adage, everybody's looking for that get rich quick scheme, right? And in real estate and in a lot of business, it's actually a get rich slow process, right? But one of the things they tend to forget is how to get rich smart. Because you have to understand your business, you have to understand the hurdles that are going to come back, and you have to go back and be ready for those setbacks. And once you go back and be prepared mentally, because you have a plan of action, you have a process, you have to go back and keep that process in line. Because when I got that no from my real estate agent, you know what I did? I started running my goals again. And that's what I did. And that's what Grant tells us to do, because we have to go back and accept that moment. Now, what are you going to do with that moment is going to be all up to you. Are you going to go back and just be down all day? Or are you going to go ahead and take that energy and put it on paper and then reset yourself to go and do more massive action? And so that's what I did. I wrote my goals and I started calling people. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Hey, I got an idea. You want to meet for lunch? Let's go. He said, absolutely. And then I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back and look for vacant land. We're going to do new development. Screw this. We're not going to go back and deal with scraps anymore. We're done dealing with scraps. We're going to go back and do brand new builds, because we're going to build it our way, the way we want to do it, no matter what it costs. It's going to be successful, and we're going to get it done, and we're going to make a name for ourselves.
Awesome.
New builds are so much better, honestly. Like, I'm building new right now, and oh my God, there's so much more you can do in really getting like the floor plan right and really, maximizing the space. I love it. I'm like, I just want to build from scratch from now on.
And it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Because you're no longer fighting for scraps. It's like, okay, now you have to try to get it for the lowest price ever. Yeah. And that's always a struggle. And then you have to go back and get a rehab. And then you're going to have holding costs. And you got to do the wait. And then you're going to have setbacks. And it's like, okay, all this money could have been done in a new build, and it would have been perfect the first time.
Yeah, it's costing us much less to build from scratch than if we would have bought someone else's home, renovated it.
Put your twist to it.
Exactly. Because also too, like homes or buildings that were built 20, 30, 40 years ago, the way they were built is not really the way we live now. So you need massive structural changes.
Yeah, I saw your build. Have you seen her build yet? Have you seen her lives?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I was like,
Just,
my God.
like, look at me. I see the one with the boxes. I'm ready. I was like, yeah. But you see, you mentioned something earlier, building from scratches. You see, this is where people have, when you start a new thing and think about go to zero or go broke, like, Grant always say, or building from scratch. People have the tendency to lose their confidence because they believe they're starting from scratch. But we don't. We always have that experience, all the fails we have. I wouldn't say failures because
they're called setbacks. They're called setbacks.
There you go. So all the experience and the knowledge it comes with, we just build a new one from scratch rather than starting from scratch.
Yeah, and much better.
And it's funny. I put a post on my Insta, and I was listening to Grant, and I listened to him because sometimes you got to have that positive let go, right? You can call her back later. And I was looking for this metaphor, right? We're talking about poker, right? When you play poker, if you go all in, you can either bust or win, right? But if you bust, you're out. So you're basically have to go back and either go get some more money if you have it and go in again. But in life, you can go in as many times as you want. It's limitless. You're not going to go back and not be able to go in today, tomorrow, or 5 hours from now. You can still go all in.
I like your analogy. Sorry to interrupt because I'm going to lose my thought. The one with the casino. You know why the casinos are always winning? The house is always winning because all the people that are going in there, they're looking to win something. They don't go all in to say. Imagine that everybody will go all in, like all the money they have to spend. I'm just going to go in, put all in one, and walk away. Imagine how many people they will win a lot of money.
Oh, my
God. But most of the people, they just go there for like, I'm going to be here for an hour. I have 100K or 10K or 1,000, whatever they have, and I'm going to try to drag this and maximize it as much as I can. If I'm taking my money back, I'm happy bunny. This is exactly what happens in life. We test things. We go a little bit in there, try a bit on the other side, and if it's not working, I'm fine. I'm going somewhere else because this is not me. So when you do go all in, like you said, and maximize that potential, that's when you can see it. And like you said yourself, you either win or you don't. But at least you try to go all in.
Exactly.
Which,
exactly.
If we do that, we'll be all awesome.
One of the things we talked about too is about fear, right? Now, you can use fear in two ways. One, you can be afraid of trying and never know. Or two, you can be afraid of not trying and never know. It's like when I found that out, it's like, oh my God. It's like when they talk about fear and how Grant used it as an indicator, because if you're afraid to do something, that means you're able, it's good. It's probably the right thing to do. So you got to have those ideas in your head and little indicators on whether or not if it's a good deal for yourself. And don't be afraid. What's the worst can happen? Either you can get a no, or you win, or you bust. You just have to reset.
Right.
Yeah. It's a funny story because we were having this kind of conversation on Grow Mastermind group earlier, and somebody was asking what's courage, because everybody talks about fear. And I said, look, courage is the opposite of fear, because when you take that fear and put it forward and actually go into action and do everything you do and everything you can do to make sure that you don't reach that where you're afraid of, that's the courage. That's where you put yourself out there, because the fear is always going to be there.
Yep.
You're always going to be afraid of something, but what are you doing with that fear? It what makes a difference. That's what it turns into a courage. Turns into people coming, like you guys coming in. It just makes that huge difference. So the fear, I love fear. The minute I'm afraid of something, it means like, ooh, I need to make sure that never ever happen again. So I just go and do the opposite.
When we get that fear, I get the hairs in the back of my head started rising, right? And it's like, oh, that feels so good. It's like, let's do it. It's like today, it's like I had to go back and adapt. I was like, what's the worst can happen? What's the worst?
It's exciting. I like it. It's like something new.
Most
I
definitely.
always look at it as like a better opportunity, something new. Like you never know what's going to happen, and it can be the most amazing thing. So I like it.
I like it too because what's his name? Lloyd, the guy from the Big Dog. What's his?
Yep.
From what's
The
what's
Goldman Sachs guy?
Golden Sachs. I couldn't never remember that freaking name. I was struck. Golden Sachs. Now we're talking about a guy who controls trillions of dollars. Okay, we're not talking about billions. We're not. We're talking about with a T. We always think the B word is nice, but the T, that's a different level.
Even better.
That's even better. That's 10x, baby. That's 10x.
Yeah.
Do you like the B or the T word? Which one do you
I like the T. The T sounds good. Say T. Hello.
This is the tree from Troublemaker.
Ah.
Beautiful.
But what Lloyd said, the gambler gets all of the reward.
Oh,
yes.
And then when he said that, I was like, holy crap. That's like,
Yes,
it's
if
so
you don't
true.
try, you don't succeed. You don't know. That's true.
I need to go back and get that printed somewhere. And then here's another one. This is another one that I just heard from, I think it was last night. Anything great is never done alone. Isn't that cool? I love that one.
That's true.
Anything great is never done alone.
My daughter, she's doing all the naughty stuff without me.
Well, guys, I have to run to an appointment.
All right.
I love seeing you guys.
Elizabeth, always a pleasure.
You take care.
And looking forward to see what you're doing with that property because I think it's going to look great.
Yeah, well, I'll be there for the next 2 weeks, so I'll be posting a lot when I'm actually there. I'll show you.
Awesome. I should be back probably in about 4 to 6 weeks, so I'm looking forward to just if I can, they come and have a look and see where you are.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good.
All right, guys. I need to go back and do some work.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Take care.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Singer.
Thank you, everybody.